I'm really excited to try out this 4-camera system. This is an outdoor security system. It comes with 4 cameras and a hub that you're going to connect. Each of the cameras has its own solar panel, and so it's going to be a wireless setup system that keeps them charged, and they're going to connect, and it has an app where you can view all 4 at the same time on your phone. So I'm going to show you unpackaging, installation, and show you how it works for me. You'll see some actual footage from these cameras, and you can decide. This checks a lot of boxes for a high quality system. So let's see how it works. MiljGte, or maybe MiljGte, I don't know. But so this is probably a brand you haven't heard of before. I had not, but I'm willing to try it out and test it. And now I'm going to tell you all that I found out about it. So this 4-camera system comes in nicely packaged, and these individual cameras each has its own solar panel, and all this comes along with the mounting hardware, and then it comes with a hub. So why do you need a hub? Well, that just makes it easier because you're just going to connect this hub directly to your Wi-Fi, and instead of then pairing 4 cameras, when you unbox these cameras, they're probably not charged. So first thing you got to do is find a place to connect all of them and get them charged before you put them outside. Now, I said they're solar powered, yes, but they run on a battery, and that solar panel then keeps the battery topped off. So you want to pre-charge them before you put them outside for your best results. The setup was pretty easy. I connected mine to my main routers in the central part of my house, and my only concern there was that I wouldn't get enough connection with the cameras. But they connected. A couple of them have a weak signal, and so that's part of, you want to locate the hub in such a place that all of the cameras will connect to it. And then you're going to see that I did a bit of maybe a curious thing in mounting mine, but I actually mounted each camera to a small piece of wood before I put them up, just because I was going to be climbing on a ladder to put mine up, and I decided it would be easier to mount these ahead of time with the screws and then have just a couple of easy screws to put in once I climb the ladder. And this worked out pretty well for me. So I put one on each corner of my house, and that way you get a coverage. And that's the neat thing about getting a pack of 4, is you're basically leaving no area uncovered. And then each of these is a pan tilt camera, so you can then go in the app and move it up and down or side to side. They claim to have a 350-degree range of motion, which essentially means that they'll go anywhere that you need them to. Once I had the hub connected, we were ready to go. So you can adjust in the app how sensitive the motion detection is for these. You can move it from small animal to larger animal, like a bigger dog, to human detection. And so obviously human detection is usually what you're going to want a security camera for, but you may want a smaller sensitivity for these as well. So hooking these up, I found them to be easy to adjust once they were up, and the picture clarity was really nice. Good crisp images where I could make out everything that was in view, and then of course you can adjust it. So I'm going to show you a few clips here of what the cameras have captured, both in daylight and also in the dark. And so as I moved around to see how they would pick me up, so you can change their settings. You can have color night vision, or you can do it in the traditional IR settings of black and white in the dark. And that's really up to you what your preference is in terms of those. The color settings are pretty neat, just in terms of how easily they pick up light. And of course the camera is going to use its own light, is my understanding and my experience with these. But you can see how each of these picked up. They also have a microphone that you can pick up sound with, and someone speaking outside. And I'm going to break for just a minute and let you hear some of the audio that it picked up. Okay, we're testing here. I'm speaking fairly loud, a little louder than I would normally speak to another person, but
You can
One of the neat things about these cameras is they all work on the same system, and so they open in one app together, and they're in one view. So you have 4 cameras and 4 camera views here. I got mine set up, and then I was eagerly watching for something to happen, waiting for someone to walk onto my property. Of course, nothing happened. The most exciting thing that happened with these was that an animal had been eating on one of my baby trees, and so I actually moved one of the cameras to the ground to try to find out what was eating them. This possum probably wasn't the culprit, but anyway, my experience with these over the past few days has been good. They have good clarity. They do pick up a lot of motion. Now, they did pick up a lot of tree limbs blowing and other movement. My flag was moving and causing some notifications. And of course, those are things that you don't want, not only because you don't want the notifications on your phone or your watch, but you also don't want to run the batteries down with too many notifications. So you want to adjust your settings once they're up according to how much traffic is going to be in front of one. And I also find like I could aim these so that they pick up the street and cars going by, but I don't want to do that. One, I don't need to know who's driving by, and two, the just in terms of the battery, that's going to really wear on the cameras. So I also didn't want to point them at my neighbor's windows, but if you do need to do that, you have the ability to block out a privacy area on each of the cameras. And so that's a nice feature to have in any security camera, because I don't want my neighbor's camera looking in my window, and I'm not going to do that to my neighbor. So anytime I'm setting up a camera, I'm going to block out if it's looking into my neighbor's house. I'm going to make sure that I block that out so it's not recording anything like that. Battery life with these has been good. The reports basically each day, they're topping back off with the solar powered, and we are in the middle of summer here where I live, and so it's good that they are getting lots of sun, but I don't think they'll need that much. I've tried other similar sized solar panels, and they tend to keep these type of cameras charged up well, so I have no doubt that these would even do this in December and January here. But if you have to, you can take them down. They actually come down pretty easily. The back of this is going to pop off of the stand. Now, if you're putting these at a place where you think they could get stolen or tampered with, you can actually put screws through holes in the camera part so that they would not be as easy to take down. Someone would have to have a screwdriver or some sort of matching mechanism to get them down. All right, so the pros for this system, the good things that I found: one, the image clarity is good. Their ability to capture things. Two, I really like the view of having all these together, seeing a live view of all 4 corners of my house with one click from an app. So being able to do those things, I really like their adjustability, the pan tilt, that you can point them in any direction you want to. And so you don't have to worry that much about setting them up. And I love their wireless, the solar powered, connecting by their own hub. It's easy to set them up. You don't have to run any wiring to them, and they should work fine. Couple of cons, so just being realistic, I would like for it to track. It doesn't. So a person walking up my driveway picks up on the camera, and to me, a pan tilt camera should be able to track the person. So I think that's probably doable, something that maybe they can add to this system soon. The other thing I'll mention with these is the app loading and usability, maybe just a little bit clunky. Is that the best word? So getting the images up and on screen. Again, I know you're loading 4 cameras at once, so there's a lot of bandwidth going on there, but security cameras, you want to see the images quickly. And so the images would pop up on the notification, a still image on my watch or on my phone, but to open the app and see all the images at once was a little bit slow. And again, that could have been my own Wi-Fi connection and its lack of connecting to everything. But I think that the problem may have been in the amount of information coming in. Just something that maybe could work better. I will mention one other aspect with these. If you want to set them up somewhere, you can set them up with an alarm system to where if they detect motion, the light comes on and alarm sounds, and here is a recording of what that sounds like. So the alarm is not super loud, but enough to disturb someone who might be coming into an area and convince them that they don't need to be there. That's not going to work for me. I can see instances if you're setting these up in a more remote location and you wanted to turn the alarm on. Again, it would be nice to be able to turn that on as a feature with a schedule, so it's not on all the time, but the alarm can come on at certain times or not. There's a subscription service with these, as you find with a lot of cameras, and you can get AI with them or a cloud storage if you want to pay a monthly fee, and that's pretty common, it seems, among the industry. So that option is there for you in the app, and something you may want to consider, especially if you're going into these. So again, the advantage of having all your cameras being one brand is that they work together. They're in one app, you bring them up, and there they are. So I think that's a nice feature. They all work through one hub, and thus you're not connecting everything to your own Wi-Fi individually and trying to work it that way. I wanted to say thank you. They did send me this product to review. These are high quality. They are well-built cameras. They are easy to install. And when you're installing 4 cameras, you're doing a lot. But it didn't take me that long to get them set up and running, and they've been easy to use. I'm going to link to them below. Check it out, see if the price is going to match for what you're looking for your smart camera needs. Outdoors, obviously, highly weather rated to be able to withstand rain, snow, whatever you need to. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.